Hi and welcome to the 21-day yoga challenge day 7. So today we're going to do some journaling, and all you're going to need is a pen and your journal or a book, a piece of paper, somewhere where you can write. And it's so powerful to be able to write it down rather than type it out. So I really encourage you to use a pen and paper. So journaling, I use journaling all the time, and I find it really useful to have a journaling prompt that I can then write about and go a little deeper. And often things come up that I didn't even realize were there, that I didn't even know were on my mind. And that's such a beautiful way to develop a deeper relationship with yourself. So it's really helped me on my journey of introspection. So I really hope that you enjoy this if you haven't done it before. So the method that I use is called free writing, and this simply means writing whatever is on your mind, whatever comes into your mind straight onto the page. So there's no filtering, there's no editing, there's no checking yourself. You don't need to worry about spelling, punctuation, grammar, whether it makes sense. No one else will read this but you. And when you finish, you can even put it in the bin, you can burn it. You can do whatever you like. It doesn't have to be read by anyone else. So if you haven't got a journal and a pen, go and grab one now and we'll get started. So I wanted to start by just talking to you about what yoga is, and we'll be journaling around some of the yoga philosophies. So yoga is a really deeply personal journey of introspection. It helps you to get to know yourself better. And it comes from the root word yuj, which means join. So it's about the union of the mind, the body and the soul with the universe, or with Paratma, with the world, whatever you want to call it, with God, whatever you want to call it, that's what it is. And it's about realizing that you yourself are one and the same as all the different things in nature, in this world that we live in. We're all the same. And that is such a beautiful thing when you can realize that, and when you can live in that knowledge and be rooted in it. That's when it's said that you have reached enlightenment. Of course, it's much harder than it sounds, and that's not why you have to practice yoga. So I'm not saying that all of you watching this video now need to have that as your goal. It's just important to have that background knowledge that that's what yoga originally was and still is to so many people. It's just one path to reach moksha or liberation. So within yoga philosophy, there's 8 limbs. We have yama, which are the social principles, and there's 5 sub-principles in that. We have niyama, which are the personal principles, and again, there's 5 sub-principles within that. We have asana, which is to have a still and steady posture, and that's what we typically see in Western yoga. We see the physical practice on the mat, and that's actually only 1/8 of yoga, and that's why it's so important to me to be able to teach my students, to teach you all the different parts of yoga, so that you can have the holistic view and get all the beautiful benefits both on and off the mat. So number 4, we have pranayama, which we touched upon the other day, and it's about breath work and being able to extend or expand the breath. We have pratyahara, which is number 5, and that is a withdrawal from your sense organs. So that means when you are, say, practicing meditation and you smell something delicious, rather than your mind wandering to what that smell is, who's cooking, what is it, you are able to almost be withdrawn from it and to still keep meditating. So that's a really difficult thing to achieve and takes a lot of practice. We then have dharana, which is concentration. And that's what we in the West typically call meditation, when we're really trying to concentrate on one thing, whether that's our breath, the person that's guiding us through the meditation, whether it's a visualization. Then number 7, we have dhyana, which is meditation. So that's about being in that meditative state at all times. So being in that state where you're withdrawn from your sense organs and you're able to concentrate on one thing all the time. So that's dhyana. Then we have number 8, which is moksha, or liberation, or enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. So today we're going to focus on the first sublimb of yama, and that is ahimsa. Now, you might have heard this word before. It's used quite a lot in the West, and it was used a lot by Gandhi, so you might have heard it through that. And it means non-violence. So in Sanskrit, which is the language that all the yoga scriptures are written in, when you put a in front of a word, it means non. So himsa means violence and ahimsa means non-violence. So we all know that we shouldn't be violent towards others. We shouldn't be physically violent, and we shouldn't be violent with our words either. We shouldn't physically, mentally, emotionally, etc. abuse people. But ahimsa is about more than that. And when I discovered this, it really blew my mind. So it's about non-violence of your thoughts, your words, and your actions towards others, but also towards yourself. So that's the part that I'd never really thought about how how you can actually cause harm to yourself, especially through your thoughts and your words. The things that we say, the things that we think, they form our reality. They're the stories we tell about ourselves all the time. They form our reality, they form our truth, and we start to believe them. Yet they're not often based on truth. They're not based on facts. Where have they come from? So it can really help you to start to question your thoughts and your actions, your words. What are you saying? And it can really help you to start to check yourself. So your first journaling prompt for today is, are your own thoughts, words, and actions harming you? So I want you to write that down. Are your thoughts, words, and actions harming you? And if so, how? And if they are also, how can you stop that? Or how can you start to notice it and then start to implement some change? This, of course, is not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. So at the thought level, at the word level, at the action level, how are you harming yourself? So for example, the thought level, perhaps you are constantly telling yourself that you're worthless and that no one likes you. But is that true? Do you have people in your life that like you, that love you? We are all worthy of everything that we desire. We are not worthless. So how can you start to help yourself to believe that you are worthy, that you have worth? At the word level, do you say things out loud about yourself? Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, I'm so dumb. I'm so fat. I'm so this, that, and the other. Are these things true? And where have they come from? Do they stem back from your childhood? This is what so often happens. You realize that these thoughts, these words, these actions are from our conditioning. So where have they come from, and how can you start to talk kinder about yourself? Because our words carry so much power and so much energy, and we don't even realize it. So try to stop talking in a negative way about yourself. And then in the action level, it doesn't have to be that you're physically harming yourself. It could be that you self-sabotage. So for me, I often procrastinate when I know I really need to do something and I'm almost on the cusp of something amazing happening. That fear almost holds me back, and I procrastinate and I spend time doing all these other things when really I should be doing that one thing that's going to push things forward, that's going to change everything. But of course, as humans, we don't enjoy change. Even if our comfort zone, the place where we are, is uncomfortable, we'd rather stay there than push ourselves to a point of change, to a point that will make things better. So just have a think, pause the video and start to journal on these things. Whatever comes into your mind, write it down, no filtering, off you go. So do pause the video if you're not done. I don't expect that you will be. Just a quick reminder. So are your thoughts, words and actions harming you? If so, how? And how can you start to put things in place to stop that? So perhaps you can do some positive affirmations. You can write them down. You can say them aloud. Perhaps you can stop yourself from procrastinating. So for me, I tend to use this planner that I have to write lists and to sort of tick them off to reward myself, to reward myself when I've achieved something, and just little things like that to perhaps break things down into more manageable tasks rather than having one large overarching thing that I need to do, to make it really manageable and achievable. So how can you put these things in place for yourself? So we're going to leave it there for today's video. I really hope that you've enjoyed that journaling, that you found it useful. Please do let me know how you found it. Comment below, message me on Instagram, and don't forget that you can use the template on Instagram to track how you've been finding the set, don't forget you can use the template on Instagram to track how you've been finding each day, and tag me in it to be in with the chance of winning some amazing prizes from small businesses that I love. And I will see you back here tomorrow for day 8. Bye.